British was able benefited from the same, more complex than our own. During the process of their own colonization, that Black African nations ruled by the French and the British got wrong. I'll tell you. Religion, the Indians put to one side, just like our mother that you played the tape said. Indians, they threw religion to the British on their face, that they can keep their religion. India took their education, took their technology, and that's why today we've got companies like Tesla and Tata Steel now recolonizing Britain. They never took their language, because you go into the Indian parliament today, they speak their language in their parliament. The Indians, they use their language to educate their children. English is only a second language in England, in India. In our own case, it is the complete opposite. Nigerians, Africans, they took on the religion brought by the white man, the Christianity of the white man, that says your Ifa is evil, your Ogun is evil, your Eshu is Satan. They labeled them. But whereas, as a matter of fact, the Eshu that the Oyibos said is evil, they worship Eshu. When they came, the education that should have been taken and the technology that Nigeria should have taken, I'm afraid Awolowo took the education because he knew the value of the education, and because the white people knew for a fact that when they came to our territory, they saw power in the West.
Okay, I'm going to take it away from you, Frank Bello, because of our elders. I will prefer to hear them more, because they won't be here every time. I can keep you till tomorrow.
That's right.
But I can't keep this, our elder, till tomorrow.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to inform you that I have Professor Banji Akintoye online with us as well, which is a bonus. And he has promised to work with every one of you guys. And I want to assure you guys that we are all going to work together. So I'm going to take turns to hatch each one and every one of you guys, daddies, my daddies. I respect you guys so much. Daddy Oladmeji, Daddy Falashe, my daddy. I just love you to bits. Yeah, I love you to bits. I didn't know this is supposed to have come long time ago, but we keep postponing it. When I was told about you that they're gonna try and say, don't bring him to Heritage, I'm gonna bring him myself, because it would be so disrespectful for someone else to bring my father to Heritage. I will go and bring my father myself. Daddy Ajala, I really want to appreciate you. So I'm gonna go in turns. Maybe I'm gonna go to Daddy Oladimeji first. Daddy Oladimeji, will you fight for a Yoruba nation? Will you work with Professor Falashe? Daddy, did you hear me? Otuma, did you hear that?
Oh, it's me.
Yes.
Thought you said about thank you.
I was praising everybody first, because it was fantastic to have you guys here.
All right, Mr. Abogre, thank you. And I welcome Professor Akintoye to this forum. Indeed, a lot of things that I've heard about Yoruba. We've talked about custom and language, that we accept people's culture. Even when we were in school, when you speak in Yoruba, say you are speaking in vernacular. The Indians also have brought their own tradition into that technology they borrowed from the West world. The Chinese still have their practice their acupuncture, the Chinese medicine, herbs. Everything that we had actually destroyed. And we are saying that we are actually now civilized. So we've actually destroyed the things we have with our fathers that achieved. If you take the of Ifa, I'm Ifa. Some people have actually asked me to change my name. I said, I want to be Ifa Lashe, because our mother had actually explained what Ifa is. If you see these days, you will see that Americans are actually coming to Nigeria to learn Ifa, but what we had actually thrown away. She's actually described what Ifa is. If we had actually researched or promoted ourselves, we would not be in the position we are in today. Fella, the song, democracy, what was brought by the Western, we don't need to follow everything that they brought. And to go back and question, I prepared to for a country. I will fight for mine, and because I want us to leave a legacy for our children. We are out of land, because most of the things that is happening there now is we haven't progressed at all. I went to some parts of what used to be Western region, or Jota, that used to be industrial, created by the Western Ikeja industrial area. They're all dead because we hadn't actually followed the legacy of our Western region till date. And it's a shame that we Yoruba actually are not looking at where we came, our history. Even was agitating that the books we read at school, like the Fagunwa, just the Delanos, they are not sure anymore. Actually was trying to research, get long mans. I know people that printed some of this books. Where we now is students are learning French and German and Chinese. We're not actually promoting our own language or a tradition. I mean, I sort of mentioned something earlier about Yoruba Kofi Pele. We had that part of our own methods, where we do things and safeguard ourselves. All those things have actually been thrown out. What I think is we need to sit down together and work out the modalities for a better nation for the Yoruba people.
Thank you very much, Daddy. I want you to look at me in the eyes. I'm a very hardcore Yoruba boy, and thank God for the good relationship that is already between me and you. I love you with the love of God. I love you with the love of Christ. I'm just looking for a screen where it's going to be me and you, just me and you on the screen. But I couldn't find one easily. So I'm just going to change one quickly so that people can see us properly, and then we can do this one quickly. Number 10. Okay. I'm just going to change one of this one to do that. And then I will ask you a serious father to son question. Daddy, sit down properly, please. Daddy, Falashe, so that I can see you properly. I want to see you properly. Yeah. So it's only me and you on the screen now. You promise with all your heart that you're going to work together with Professor Banji Akintoye and the rest of the people that want us to be free from slavery. We're not saying free from anything. We just want to be free from oppression and slavery. And I want a yes or no answer from you.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Daddy. I seriously appreciate that.
I will work Yeah, I will work for the progress of Yoruba land.
Thank you.
And that is what I stand for. I've actually been agitating for a long time how we can better our land so that we can leave legacy for our coming generation. It was said to your Israel, I've used that phrase many, but fortunately, we are a voice that needs to be heard down. And we need something drastic to happen to Yoruba land. Thank you.
Very
God
much,
bless.
Sir. God bless you, sir. Guys, listen, gentlemen. I only want positive comment on the show today. We don't want no rule and divide questions. Rule and divide situation comment on the show. We want unification comment. We want to unite everybody. So please and please do me a very big favor. All the language I want to hear today is language of united language, comment, united teams. That's all I want to hear. No division, no blame. We don't want to do no blame game today. We just want to do it in a way that we want to encompass everybody. Everybody has to be part of it so that we can form a proper government. And then when we want to do the constitution, like I said earlier on, we will bring everybody. Look at my cap. I put a Yoruba because my fathers are coming. I have to respect the elders. I'm going to go to my next father. I'm going to go to Father Oladimeji. And after that question from him and Father and Daddy Ajala, I will throw the line open for about 10 questions. Please, when you get the opportunity, if you get the opportunity, please ask your question straight. Your name, where you're calling from, and your question. And that will be it. Yeah. And you're going to have about 30 seconds, and I will give Daddy about 30 seconds to 45 seconds to answer individual question today. I will not interfere with answering question today unless you ask a ridiculous question. Then I will say no, we don't need that. Yeah. Okay. Daddy Oladimeji, I'm with you now, sir. Will you work with Professor Banji Akitoye to deliver our people from slavery that we've been in since the creation of Nigerian state? Yes or no, sir?
Yeah, it's a emphatic yes.
Okay.
And I want to say that the Yorubas have never been in slavery with anybody. We have been playing some sort of hide and seek. We mustn't deceive ourselves. We let ourselves into the situation we are somehow.
Yes.
And I support completely. I've been speaking with him, Professor Akitoye.
Okay.
I support his ideals, I support his idea, and I like the way we discuss.
Okay.
And I can assure you, I will work with him very closely as well. And of course, I have discussed this with my brother Falashe. Maybe I should let it out. I've discussed it with him, and I agree with him. Anything Yoruba, we must support. And we are going to work through this. We are going to make sure that we succeed, civilized way, and we do the best we can for the future of Yoruba nation. Thank you.
Sir, I really appreciate that. I'm going to pin the number now, but please don't call until you are asked to call. I'm going to pin the number before I go to the next. Maybe I should go to Daddy Ajala as well. Daddy Ajala, is up to you now, sir. You can explain, you can do whatever you like. Will you work with Daddy Professor Banji? I know we had a meeting the other day together, including me, myself, and yourself. Uh, maybe, maybe I shouldn't even ask you that question because I know the answer already from you. So maybe I shouldn't even. So, or should I do it the Yoruba way that says "Enoni kan"?
That project,
Okay, go ahead.
we've been working on that project in London here for the past 30 years. And when I saw Professor Banji Akito is strutting on the podium, talking about the Yoruba race. Then I said, yes, my freedom has arrived.
Mm.
Then I have somebody I can talk to. So the answer is an emphatic yes.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that. I really appreciate what you said there, and I appreciate everybody. I don't need to have Frank Bello for that because even if he said no, I'll beat him and I'll beat him to submission. So we don't need to go there. The line is now open. Please try your best for me. Straight to the question. Ask your question. Straight. Give me your name, where you're calling from, and ask your question. Please, if I answer your question, you should know that that question is not up to standard. That's why I answer it. If not, ta ló sọ pé a ò ní bàbá káyì a ní bàbá àwọn wọ̀nyí bàbá wa. Who said we don't have father? We have father. Great. Okay, the line is now open. Please let me know who you want to direct your. Please, folks, kindly invite your friends. Tonight is the night. Yeah, tonight, tomorrow as well, and next week, Wednesday, is finally Professor Banji Akintoye's day. Okay, so let me just make sure the phone can get in. If you cannot get in, let me know quickly so that I can put the phone on. I think I have some few questions from online people here. It's time to ask for Yoruba Nation. Isn't it time to ask? Okay, that one we know about that one already. Will you work with Professor Ban? Yeah, we asked that as well. Yoruba World Congress, who is championing this cause with everybody else. Everybody else. If there is Yoruba World Congress Europe, if they are aware of this. Okay. So, question time. The numbers are pinned. If you can see the number, please send a message to me that you can see the number so that I know that you guys got the number already. Because I'm waiting for my. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Omolara Sunshine. Thank you very much as well. Yes, so a lot of clapping for daddies, lot of hands up for daddies. I'm saying thank you, thank you. A lot of loves and loves and love for flying and like. I so much like and appreciate what I'm hearing now. Oh, Adeomolu Abiodudua. Much love. The elders are working together for the sake of our motherland and the generation yet unborn. Can I say something? Why I refer to that one quickly? The elders has always been working together. I can tell you now. And I will tell you why sometimes we don't appreciate that or we don't see that. Because sometimes what we see is just the just an imagination. Just an imagination. We're not seeing it deep. That is why. Okay, I got my first caller. Please, when you and now, please give us your name, where you're calling from, and your time start now. Hello? Hello? It's a lie. This thing must work today, oh, and it's working. I don't know why it doesn't. Okay, put the phone down and call back again, and maybe it's gonna work. Yeah. Okay. Now let's try it now. Uh, no joy from that. I'll tell you what. Let someone else call and let's see what happens. Yeah. Hello. Your name, where you're calling from, and your straight question. 30 seconds, and start now.
Okay. My name is Adeola Ade. I'm coming from United Kingdom. I thank our elders for coming on board tonight. My question goes straight to them. Can they please tell us this crusade they're going to front for us? Are they pushing it forward to the Yoruba Obas now or in the future? What are the plans, please?
Okay, we're not pushing anything to Yoruba Oba for now. We're gonna drive it. We're gonna be driving it ourselves because we want to be able to shape things ourselves. I'm gonna give it to Daddy Ajala quickly. Daddy, go ahead.
I will want to answer that question.
Go
The
ahead.
Yorubas of us have been working on it for quite a long time, even before the YCA, because I'm directly connected to the Secretary General of the Yoruba Obas, each time he went around campaigning to our people who are in different parts of Yoruba land
Hold on, please.
within Nigeria and outside Nigeria, I'm always consulted. And the last message I'm hearing from them is that they want, or we should all fight for the emergence of the sovereignty of the Yoruba nation, because it's a people of a common origin and a common ancestral origin and language and culture and way of life, and a very powerful Ifa, which is our mathematical base, which most people don't understand. I hope the young ones will follow us to fight for this. There is nothing that we should be afraid of now. We need to come together. The others are aware. All that we need to do, like I discussed with the Oba, is that they are going to be the arbiters of political dispensation in the future setup, not partisan. We are not going to allow that. We are
Okay.
going to put them in the position of respect, not where they will be beggar people, not where a governor will be ordering an Oba to come and see him. It
Okay.
is a
Thank you.
cause.
Thank you, Daddy. We're gonna take it off you now so that we can go there. Thank you very much for that. That was very, very good response from Daddy. I think I lost the next caller, but let's pick this one quickly. Go ahead, sir. Your name, where you calling from?
My name is Eche. I'm calling from France.
Thank you very much, sir.
I
Richie,
want
go
to
ahead.
thank I want to thank our elders for coming to talk to us this evening. I really appreciate them. Mr. Moderator, sir, I want you to remember something. The Bible also says that the kingdom of God survive violent and the violent take it by force. We'll take that country, we'll take Yoruba land by force. My question is this. The Igbos, the IPM Igbos, they have their leader, Nnamdi Kanu.
Yeah.
Do we have their leaders that is fighting the struggle for them? If no, how can we find one person that will lead us? That's my question.
Okay. Should I let the elders answer it, or should I just chip in quickly?
Anyone, I just
Answer
want to
the
know is the question.
Okay, I will answer it because to make it easy. Because the reason is that some questions I have to take over some questions myself, because that way it will make it easy and there won't be any issues later on. At the moment, we get here because these people are working together. We get the UMPO team because these people are working together. The Yoruba Council of Elders, the Egbemoluabi, the Afenifere, the YWCA, the YWC, everybody is working together. We're going to have an office. It's not that we're going to have an office. We already have an office of YWCA in London. And YWC is just a collating center for every organization that's working on this, so that we can start synchronizing what we're doing and we can move forward properly. I hope that answers your question. So that is how
Minister,
Yes.
we don't have a leader yet.
we
don't
have a
one person.
leader. We have a leader, and let me give it to Daddy Ajala again. Go ahead, sir.
Okay.
Young man, you asked that question. And if you have been listening, we've been talking about the great Professor Banji Akitoye. He is the de facto leader of all agitation for the Yoruba nation at the moment. And we are all working with him so that when the time comes, we will present a reason why the dissolution of that amalgam. I want to educate you on that. Nigeria is just an amalgam. If, like a company, if you amalgamate a company and it is not working, you dissolve it, and each person takes his own share and goes its own way. And if any part of that amalgam decides to work together, then they will now sign an agreement of cooperation, a mutual agreement. That is what we are going to arrive at. And if I may remind you, one Lamido from the north says that Nigeria is too weak to divide. I'm afraid we have all got to that point that if something is too weak to hold water, will it not break up? It will break. He has already said it. So we are going our way. Eh? iṣẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ dúró dèmí gbọ́ ṣòkòtò ẹ̀gbá ń sá lọ amọ̀bí tá à ń lọ. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate that. I thank God for the wisdom in which we're trying to move on with this. The number to call is +44 734 1234560. If you want to ask a question, please do so now. Okay, Frank Bello, while we're waiting for our next caller, which is actually here now. Okay, maybe we work now. Hello, sir.
So we get prepared for
Okay, this gentleman is
the
trying to call us,
three
but
of
it's
us.
not coming through.
No,
What you can do to your phone
it's
is
not
turn
that.
your phone off and back on again, and maybe we will hear you, sir. Thank you. Okay, while we're trying to wait for callers on that one, Frambelo, how successful do you think tonight is? How successful is it currently, and how are we doing?
I think with the caliber of the elders that we've brought into the forum tonight, I think this demonstrates the confidence that we are out there and we mean business. And if we can come out boldly to say to them, look, this is what we want, this is what we want, I think it is sending a clear signal. And I think the mere fact that we have assembled all our elders in one forum and we're discussing the issue of the Oduduwa Union, I think perhaps the Biafrans are probably learning on the sideline, or they are watching every move because they are agitating for their own as well. But it's been extremely very successful and I'm very, very happy. But I think the icing on the cake for me is the very day Professor Banji Akitoye made his appearance on this show. Then Yorubas across the broad spectrum of life from all walks and discipline can actually hear the leader that we all sanction, at least fit to lead our generation in collaboration with the other elders, responsible elders like Papola Dimeji, Dadiola Dimeji, Dadi Ajala, and many of them who are ready to work with our own generation. We're ready to work with them, with the exception of those that we feel they're sellouts because they've created so much mess. And obviously, with the wisdom from our elders, we know how to deal with them. I'll hand over to you back in the studio.
Thank you very much, daddies. I really appreciate every single one of you. The Yoruba people said the adults will not be in the market for the baby's head at the back to go pie shit. Maybe I should put it like that. Ben, sir. So just for I like the love, I like the love. Okay, we have another caller quickly. Go ahead, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello. Good evening.
You need okay, say that again.
My name is Kayo.
Okay.
I'm calling from London.
Thank you very much, Cowdy.
Yeah. It's a good thing that we are coming together. But I believe that Yoruba, we are not into slavery. We enslave ourselves.
Yeah, like Daddy said, yeah.
The divide and rule that they're talking about cannot be possible without the collaborators among us.
Yeah.
Look at Awolowo. Look at Obasanjo himself when in 1979 was supposed to hand over to Awolowo because of his own selfish interest and went to Shagari. Look at Abiola today. When Buhari was about to contest, the DC was as Ushwaji was one of us, supported them, they supported them. What I'm trying to say is this: the problem of the Yorubas are the Yorubas. We are well educated, we have everything that we are supposed to be great. Look at Nigeria, for example, in the past 10 years,
What is the record of Yorubas in JAM? What is our record in WAEC? Look at the of Lagos. You heard about the 1 million guys causing trouble. They're not even educated. They're not even employable. Look at Lagos, for example. The Igbos are the most successful businessmen in Lagos, whether you like it or not. They are self-independent but we have to first of all clean our house first. That's where I'm going to. Because if we don't clean our house first, we are just wasting our time. Okay. I live part of my life in the north. I grew up in the north. I speak Hausa, I speak Yoruba. Even here in United Kingdom, the Yorubas are never cooperative. I was so surprised that look, if Sadiq could be a mayor of London, what stop us from being a mayor? But we never come together. We are always the one biting ourselves. There's a forum going on now. I won't mention the name of that forum. It's a Yoruba one in that forum. There have about 3,000 people on that forum. And all they do is gossip. That's our life. Look, we need to talk to ourselves. To be honest, you see, I only respect what the others have said. You understand? Religion is not our problem. Our problem is just that we as a people, number one, Yorubas, we are very arrogant. Now, I remember when Babangida was in power, when Abacha was in power, when Nigeria won Nations Cup, when the government was speaking to him, Abacha spoke in Hausa. The Yoruba man would start speaking big grammar. I mean, what's wrong with us? Even before I left Nigeria, I was so angry. Most of our children, we don't allow them to speak our language. We are mad. I live in London. I live among the Asians. They speak their language. It is madness. We are mad. We are crazy. We need to tell ourselves the truth. What is wrong with us? I work in an industry that is IT. The IT is dominated in this country by Indians. The Yoruba guys, I was part of them, wrote the Nigerian policy of IT. NIFDA. All of them were Yoruba guys. They brought in Professor Ajayi from University of Ife from NIFDA. Look at NIFDA today. Just people have conquered them. Go to Ikeja. Go to Alaba International. Who are those people that are selling the computer parts? They are the Hausas. No, they are the Igbos. I work in Osun State. When they started this their computerization of Osun State, when the language came in, it spoiled the whole project. We need to talk to ourselves first.
Okay, gentlemen, I really want to appreciate your time on the show today. One of the things we get wrong. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. One of the things we get wrong in Yoruba land among ourselves is that, like I said to you, all I'm looking for today is a way forward. Way forward. What do we need to move forward? What do we need to move forward? One of the things I said to everybody on this platform on how to move forward is to support one another. Support one another. Support Frambelo, support Mayego, support Olayomi Koiki, support Citizen Y, support Heritage, support this cause. Okay, gentlemen, you're the last caller. How many shares did you share tonight for others to know about this program? Because if they don't know about it, they're not going to learn. We want people to learn, and we will try our best to make people learn. Uncle, did you turn your phone on and off again? Good evening, sir. Your name, where you calling from, and your question straight, sir.
Okay. My name is Oluwatobi from Italy.
Okay, thank you, Oluwatobi.
And I'll just go straight to my question, sir.
Thank you.
My question is, we see as... Yes, I did. Hello?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So, my question goes straight to Prof, sir. First of all, I appreciate all the elders in the studio this night, sir. What I wanted to ask is this: we have a leader, yes, but we that are coming from behind, our other youth, other generation don't follow. What at this point? Because Omo Yoruba, tó bá ní kórí òun tí pè láti come together and sing, kò lè gbọ́mọ. So, what is our own part? What are we now going to do? Yes, we have a leader. We're looking up to their works that are going on already. But kí ni àwa lè ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí the said don't tell àwọn èèyàn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ àwọn àgbàlagbà tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́? That is my question, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm gonna give that to Daddy Falashe quickly to deal with that one while I put Femi Babalola on hold to be dealt with after the answer. Daddy, you got a minute to answer
Sorry,
the question, sir. Daddy Falashe.
Modu, I didn't hear this question very well. Can you don't tell me quickly what the question was?
Okay, what he was saying is that do you think we should all be doing to make sure that this movement become more formidable? In summary.
In summary, what we need to do that this
Hold on.
movement takes shape is that virtually I said that we need to work together. We need to sit down and plan a policy, the aim, and give ourselves time to a timetable to be able to carry out all these things that we want to do, and not just be another talk shop of Yoruba people. What we need is to consolidate our ideas and ensure that whoever is put in charge, like we have one already now, we support that person, we support him to our best. And I know that a lot of Yoruba leaders throughout the world actually endorse our president, Professor Akitoye, to forge ahead with Yoruba nation. If we're able to sit together, or rather, if you are able to do things together, like Yoruba proverb will say, "Agbajowo la fi soya." If we do it together, we will achieve. And I know that God will give us that strength to be able to achieve. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daddy. I'm gonna give it to Femi Babalola quickly. He's been on the line with me. I hope I haven't lost him. Mr. Babalola, go ahead.
Hey, Kalisa, good evening, sir. In that way, thank you very much, sir. May you live long. My own suggestion is this, which is I'm going to speak in English tonight, which is very easy.
Mr. Babalola, start again. They were not hearing you. Start again, sir. Start again.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is this, that I will like all the Yoruba NGO, either in US, in Canada, in diaspora, in African continent, they should come on one block. A global network. A global network with one voice. I can bet you, with love and one voice, we're going to achieve what we are talking here. And then, because these people, they are so united, seriously, you will not find them on the social media. They know the strategy, and we have people that divide us are still having a very serious meeting with them. So, what are we not talking about here? It's true, we know what our past leaders have done to us, but we should put that one aside now. That is not the solution. That is not the solution. Maybe the Papa Awolowo is a great thing or a mistake or anything, but no, we should put it aside now. The action and the strategy idea that we are going to use, and we are going to put the force to be able to make this thing to come to reality. Because we need a reality. We need reality. Some of them are married, some of Yoruba people, they are living among us, Oh, what are we talking about here? So, action is most important now. Action is most important because
Thank you, Mr. Afem Babalola. I'm going to take it off you now.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. Action is needed now. Everybody know that. What action are we taking tonight? Okay. We have 57 people online now, and we got 37 shares. 37 shares from 57 people. When are we going to get there? We're not going to get there quickly if we keep doing it that way. Can I tell you what? Every other social platform that people are on now, they probably have about 3,000 shares already. So people can only go to where they know. Many people don't know about this one, so there's nothing they could do. Right? That is, I want to seriously appreciate your coming today. I want to thank you very much for the time. I didn't even ask for this much of time from you guys, and you have actually sacrificed your time to this. I want to say a very big thank you to Daddy Falashe. I want to thank Daddy Oladimeji. I want to thank Daddy Ajala. And I want to thank Daddy Small Frank for coming to the show. I'm going to let the daddies go, and then we will continue. So, Daddy Ajala, I'm gonna let you go, but I'm gonna ask to invite the other gentleman to come to the screen so that it will be me, him, and then I will bring some other people in. But before they go, Daddy Oladimeji, if you can safely, if it's safe to do so, can you put in your last words if it's safe to do so? Only if it's safe to do so.
I can only congratulate you for organizing this, and I'm also congratulating the others who are elders who are able to come to this platform. Right, where have you been? I saw you earlier in some Agbada. I didn't meet you, and I don't know you be hiding. Where have you been hiding yourself? And I hope that we'll continue to be in this good vein. Yorubas have a way of getting their way. I have so many examples that really, really, really original, where Yorubas have forged their way amongst all difficulties. You will see, Yorubas can make sure that whatever they are asking for is achieved. Even if it's going to be mellowed down, but it will be achieved.
Okay.
I wish you well, and I can continue to talk about my faith in what you are doing, but I will stop there tonight. Thank you very much for allowing me to participate, and also for giving me an update. I'm grateful.
Daddy, thank you very much for that. That was very, very nice of you. I'm going to send you our GoFundMe team. Please help us to share it, please, Daddy. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to let Daddy Oladimeji. Say that again, sir.
No problem.
Thank you very much. I'm going to let Daddy Oladimeji go while I'm trying to replace him quickly. Ayoloma Wono Daddy. I really thank you. I really thank you. And I really, really thank you for your efforts tonight. Okay. I'm going to give it to Daddy Falashe to give his closing remark as well. Daddy.
Oh, I must congratulate Heritage Television for this, for arranging this foray, and also thank all the other elders that has actually joined in. One of the things that I like tonight is that the fact is we have started, although we started ages ago, but we've actually tried to make things better than the past. As Yoruba people, like friends, our fathers have said tonight, we need to forge ahead and with unity. I must take our father on board. I will reach out to him, Father Ajala. We Yoruba people need to work together in order to live and see what we had been fighting for quietly over the years. But it appears this is the right time for us to get together to ensure that we achieve our goals without any problems, and God will be our helper to achieve everything that we've talked about tonight. And also, we should not forget our children. We should ensure that we bring them along so that what is missing, some of the things missing in Yoruba land, that's the history. We ensure that we start writing some of these issues down, because a lot of our children are not educated. I was actually very impressed with the research of the young man, Mr. I think his name was Mr. Folabi. I appreciate him as well, and I appreciate everybody tonight. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I have a caller that I would like to take before we go. Caller, tell us your name. Can you please turn your system down? Turn your system down from behind you, sir. Turn your volume down behind you.
Okay, I will do that. All right.
Your name,
It's down
where you're
now,
calling
yes.
from, and your question, sir. Before I let that
Thank you very much for having me. Yes, my name is Tajuddin Adigon Rahim. I am the coordinator of Yoruba World Congress UK Europe. I would like to thank all our elders today. A big thank you, especially from our amiable leader, Professor Banji Akitoye. He's so happy because he's been listening to many of us today. And I want to tell you all that, sir, I am very, very privileged to be one of your servants here in the UK. Thank you again, Heritage TV, for wonderful job that you've brought Yoruba Nation to the, a place where we want to be, and at the same time, Yoruba World Congress. Thank you, and thank you again.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate that. I'm just gonna do one thing quickly while I let Mr. Tajuddin go, because there's a gentleman that I really want to call before I let Daddy go first. Yeah, he said he's been calling, but he didn't realize it's actually WhatsApp only. If you're calling us, it's going to be WhatsApp only. So I'm gonna give you like 2 minutes more, and then after that 2 minutes, I will let our daddies go, include Daddy Ajala. But in the meantime, I would like Daddy Ajala to sum up before I let him go, and I will take my brother with me. So I will let Daddy Ajala and Daddy Farashe leave at the same time. Daddy Ajala, your last word, sir. Daddy Ajala, yes. My fault.
And it's for then meeting some of my co-elders, I would say, Daddy Falashe, please, my apologies. Any next meeting of the Yoruba Council of Elders, Eje Kimo, I will definitely attend. Because, Mr. Amos Akiandejimi has mentioned you to me maybe last year, and I waited for the invitation and I didn't get it. So, I kept to myself. Not that I don't think about it. Please let me know when the next meeting is. And my number, if you want to ask your son to write it down, I will send it.
I will give him your number. Don't worry. I'll give him your number.
Because, please, I want to be in touch with them all so that we can exchange ideas as to how we can also involve the youths to understand our history and the direction which we want all of us to go. We know we have a lot of problems, but we know how to solve the problem. And tó bá mọ nǹkan tí wọn bí tí ẹ̀gún ti gúnyàn ló máa mọ bí tó ti máa yọ, and that is a very important philosophical talk of the Yorubas. Philosophy is not a Western domination; it's universal. So one thing tí máa ń sọ fún àwọn ẹgbẹ́ mi nìyẹn tó bá sọ pé Western philosophy èmi ò gbà ó. Our non philosophy were to gbóná gan, and which that the Falashe knows. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
I'm gonna take
all the
sorry, sir. Yeah. This gentleman has been calling for a long time and he couldn't get through. And this is the last call of the day. Go ahead, sir.
yeah.
Right. Good evening. My name is Olukayode Ajobi, and my question goes to Mr. I always call him Uncle Frank.
Okay, if your question is for Uncle Frank, yeah, just stay there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you on hold for a second, and then we're gonna let the elders go, and then because we want to make sure we send them off ceremonially, and then we will come back to you and do Uncle Frank question. Yeah, just 1 second,
I'll
sir,
do that.
please. Yeah, daddies, we really want to say a very big thank you to you, and God bless you, both Daddy Falashe and Daddy Ajala. Good night, sir. And I will take the young man on so that we can start what we want to do. Thank you very much. Yes, we're gonna take him on, yeah. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
So Daddy Angela, you can leave the seat for my brother over there, and then we take it there. Quickly, I'm gonna give it to Frank. Frank will take the mantle for some few seconds while I replenish my screen. Thank you, Frank. Over to you.
Yes. Thank you, moderator. Who is on the line? Yes. Fire on.
I
I'm
have
listening.
disconnected him for now while I just summarize the
Okay.
night, what you think about the night before we
Yes.
bring the gentleman in properly.
Yes. I think
Okay.
the night
I think it's
is
back. The man
a
is back.
great.
It's back. It's back. Okay, go
Okay.
ahead, sir. Now ask your question, sir. Hello, Mr. K.
Hello. Yes. Okay.
No, it's not there yet. It's not there yet. He tried. Okay, he's here now. Okay, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Okay,
All right, sir.
Kayode, I'm
Are
listening
you
to your
hearing me now?
question. Yes.
Yes, he's hearing you. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Hey, Uncle Frank.
Yes.
My question to you is: we are talking about unity this evening, and I know there is somebody that you hate so passionately. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ ní Yorùbá so kó lè kí àdàdà kí n lè sọ bó ṣe wà lọ́kàn mi.
Yeah.
Bàbá jẹ́ ẹni tó yẹ pé mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí tí mo máa ń wo program wọn gan. Ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n hit èèyàn kan tí mo rí pé kí náà porúkọ ẹ̀ Tinubu. In fact, wọ́n gbèrò gbogbo kan pàápàá. Àti ń sọ̀rọ̀ àjọṣepọ̀ Yorùbá. Irú àwọn èèyàn báyìí lóòótọ́ ó lè níwà díẹ̀ ó lè lóríṣiríṣi tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin àwọn Yorùbá. A máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ ìṣọ̀kan. Báwo ni ìṣọ̀kan ṣe fẹ́ wà láàrin àwa Yorùbá nígbà tá à ń gbèrò kéde kan kù? To the extent tó yẹ pé ìkórira yẹn so pọ̀. Wọ́n lè jẹ́ ẹni tí mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí ṣùgbọ́n mo fẹ́ mọ kí ni ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gan-an tí Tinubu ṣẹ̀. Wọ́n jọ kó ṣàlàyé fún wa lálẹ́.
Okay, I'm gonna take that away from Frank for some few seconds, yeah. So Frank, I'm gonna take it away
Right.
from you for some few seconds, yeah. While
Yeah.
I mute Frank microphone, one of the reasons that people will hate people in this agitation is when someone is very, very wrong, is gravely wrong, and they are in a position in which they should be fighting a common cause, but they're fighting a selfish cause.
Okay.
That is one of the reasons that people will hate somebody else. I don't know the story. I don't know the genesis because I've just been dragged into politics in the last few weeks, maybe about 2 weeks now. I was literally, if you ask me before, I will tell you I don't do politics. If you call me to politics, I will tell you I don't do politics. But I've just been dragged into politics and I don't have a choice. So the way a lot of people look at Daddy Ashwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu is because they think he has the power to fight for the Yoruba land. But he's not fighting for Yoruba land, he's fighting for his own cause. And I will say it in front of Daddy because an elderly man as well. We're not taught to be rude to elderly people where we come from, but this our elder is fighting his own personal cause. And not only him, some few people like that fighting their own personal
We are
cause.
talking about unity now, sir.
No.
Unity. How are we going to unite
Okay.
this kid when some people don't want to work with other people? And we are talking of unity, and without unity, I don't think how we're going to win this fight.
Okay, can I ask you one question? Right?
Yes, sir.
Do you know Awolowo?
Yes, sir. Very well.
You know him very well. How much did you know him?
I'm actually in the history. I was so young. I was born 1975. I know when he died.
You know when he died?
I still remember. I remember. I was in primary school when he died.
Uncle,
When,
he died? Do you think he died?
Awolowo.
Yes.
Captain Awolowo.
Yes.
Yeah, he's dead.
He died, or he has to die?
Yeah. Sorry, sir.
Do you think he died, or he has to die?
I don't know. This is some story about behind.
Another Yoruba man grass him up.
Okay.
And he has to die.
Okay.
So
can you allow Mr. Frank to answer?
No. Frank will answer in a different way. Right? And the reason I say that is I can call you later on, and or I can get Frank to call you later on, and we can try, or we can invite you to a meeting after the lockdown and show you evidence.
Okay.
God bless you. I'm gonna let you go. Thank you. Caller, go ahead, yeah. Hello. Who's that?
I just like to answer that man's question as I'm calling anyway.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Adiola Adeoye.
Okay. Adiola Adeoye. Let's bury that. Yeah. Let's bury that question for now. Right? Otherwise,
his question sounds interesting. We don't have anything about Tinubu. It's not personal. It's not personal. It's about national issue.
It's about national issue.
Cultural interest.
Okay.
So the way we feel is the way we talk. No one wish Tinubu to die. We don't wish him to perish. Nothing happens in business. But when it comes to our political situations, we are not happy with the way he's handling it, and we need to express it. And on the entire when you are expressing your anger, when you are expressing the way you feel, it hurts people. You talk in a very bad mood. Like a guy called now, and I have to say, he needs to mind how he speaks to the elder. He was cursing people. He was saying these things. That is the way he feels. So nobody wants Tinubu to die. We don't want his business to perish. But when we feel the way we feel, we have to pour our mind. We have to speak the way we see it. Does not mean I want him dead. What am I going to gain from Tinubu dying? I don't wish anybody bad, but we have to express our feelings anyway. So that is just the answer for the gentleman. Thank you so much.
What's your name again? James
Adiola
Adeoye.
Adiola
Adeoye. James Ayola, this is the platform we need to stop. Don't let us exhibit our weakness on air. We need to untie as much as possible. Okay, maybe. Thank you very much. I'm going to give it back to, before I give it back to Frank, I'm going to give it back to this, my brother, because I am dying to hear from him. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just to try and answer the young man who said he was born in 1975. When Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who we now know as Ashwaju, was with Nadeko, we were here together.
Yeah.
So we saw everything. But let me not go into what we saw, so that people will not assume that I'm trying to run him down in any way. But suffice to say that every alignment, and I want the young man to go and do some research on what I'm saying, every alignment that any Yoruba man has ever had with the Fulani always ends in catastrophe. Every single one, right from Afonja, has ended in catastrophe. Afonja called in Alimi through his friend Sholagberu to fight the Alaafin to gain relevance.
Yeah.
Eventually, he did not know that the Alimi that Sholagberu brought to him had an agenda which had been set by Danfodio and his son, Sultan Mohammed Bello. So, foolishly, Afonja relied on the mercenaries provided by Alimi to fight the Alaafin. Eventually, he was killed in front of his Okesuna compound in Ilorin. The compound is still there. So So anytime you learn, just ask for the occasion of compound. It's still there. Alaafin Afonja was the third Yoruba Baale who was the first to declare himself Oba of Ilorin and the first to declare himself Oba in Yoruba proper. Afonja's father was Baale before him. His grandfather was Baale before him. But Afonja was the one that lost the leadership of the Ilorin township to Alimi and his descendants, who are now the emir of Ilorin, Sulu Gambari, and all of them there. You know. Now, another alliance with the Fulanis was when Chief Awolowo, going against the warning of Oliver Lightwooten, who said, and I quote, "It is the presence of the British that is keeping Nigeria together. Let nobody forget this, that they wanted Nigeria." It was the Southern Nigerian politicians who wanted Nigeria, not the British. It was the Southern Nigerian politicians who wanted Nigeria. Chief Awolowo, Dr. Azikwe, Nnamdi Azikwe, they were the ones who wanted Nigeria in 1953 at the London Conference. Lancaster House. The only leader there of note who did not want Nigeria, who wanted the Yorubas to gain their own independence, was Bode Thomas. But he was a lone voice. So, and that was how we went along, saying that, in fact, the first motion for independence, which was moved by Nauru, failed because the Northerners said they were not ready. And instead of the Southerners to say, okay, we'll get our own independence and go, they did not. If the Southerners wanted to go, they would have gone. Because prior to the amalgamation, the Southern Protectorate was a different country from the Northern Protectorate. There are two countries. No sooner did they get the independence through another motion, which was moved by Chief Remi Fani-Kayode, the father of the former minister Femi Fani-Kayode. That was the motion that succeeded to gain us independence. Another alignment again occurred after the crisis of 62 in the West that led to the Civil War, where General GOMAN was the stooge of the Fulanis after the second coup. The first coup occurred, which got rid of Agui Ronsi, who had taken advantage of the failed coup of Nzogu.
Nzegu, the five majors.
Kaduna Nzogu. So,
yeah,
Agui Ronsi got into the driving seat, didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
The Northerners were quick to say that he was in collusion with his Igbo brothers who had planned the earlier coup.
Yeah.
But what research reveals was that the earlier coup planned to kill Agui Ronsi. They planned to kill Agui Ronsi, but Agui Ronsi was lucky they didn't get him. They killed Ademule. Ademule. Rashode Ademule was killed because he was taking orders directly from Ahmadu Bello. It was Ademule who led the Nigerian troops to go and crush the people of the Middle Belt in 1965.
Yeah.
The TVs. The actual first coup that was planned was in 1965, but it did not take place. And Ojukwu was somehow part of that coup when they went to him for advice, and he told them that any coup that you plan that did not have a representation of all the geopolitical zones in Nigeria will fail.
Yeah.
Yes. By the time the second coup came along, led by Gowon and Danjuma, which captured JTU Agui Ronsi, Johnson Thomas Unako Agui Ronsi at Agodi government house in Ibadan with Fajui. It was actually Danjuma who went into that place to effect the arrest. A platoon led by Danjuma. And when they left the place, Danjuma left them to his subordinate officers, one William Wabe, William Wabe was the one who
Yeah.
killed a lot of. William Wabe was the one who killed a lot of them. Awolowo was brought out of prison, despite the fact that Ojukwu had been arguing for his release. But Aguiyi was a confused man. He didn't know what he was doing. Yes, he didn't know what he was doing. Aguiyi was confused. Because Ojukwu went to him and told him that the only person who could speak for the Yorubas was Chief Awolowo, and he was in prison in Calabar.
Yes. Absolutely.
And it was actually Ojukwu who first signed Chief Awolowo's release. He sent it to Aguiyi to sign as head of state. Aguiyi refused to sign it.
It was because he was the governor of the Eastern region. He was the governor of the Eastern region.
Desk until he was killed and taken out. That was how he came that GOMAN signed it and got the glory. And when Chief Awolowo was removed from Calabar prison, it was a vehicle belonging to the governor of the East, the Eastern region then, Ojukwu, that drove him to his house in Ikene.
Yeah.
Furthermore, Ojukwu installed a hotline in Chief Awolowo's Ikene's residence so that Chief Awolowo could call him if he needed any clarification or anything. But Chief Awolowo never used that line. He preferred to align with the Northerners. He aligned with the Northerners. And when the Civil War finished, after 2 years, they got rid of him from the government.
He was basically used and dumped by the Fulanis.
Yes. He was used and dumped. Captain Clapperton of the British Navy, the British Naval Intelligence Officer Captain Clapperton, who was the first British government official to reach Sokoto and get back to England, had this to say about the Fulanis. The Fulani stratagem will ensure that they become a power in Africa. Captain Clapperton, 1828. Fulani
You
deceived.
forget? I think you forget the friction when Gowon took over power, and when he took over power, and there was that friction to which before he took that power over as head of state, you knew you remember there was a vacuum at the seat of power because Gowon was a junior officer and there was a more high-ranking officer in the military, Brigadier Ogundipe.
I didn't want to go into that area, but let me open it up since you've opened it up.
Yeah, because Ojukwu was advocating that Brigadier Ogundipe should be the head of state rather than Gowon.
Yes, the reason why the Civil War occurred was because after Aguiyi had been killed, the next man in line was Brigadier Babafemi Ogundipe.
Yes.
But Ogundipe was not allowed to take the position which rightfully belonged to him. And Ojukwu further argued that himself and General Jack Yakubu Gowon were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant Colonel the same day in 1965, and he was not going to take orders from Gowon.
Yeah.
He was not going to take orders from Gowon. Then
they had to smuggle you remember they had to smuggle Brigadier Ogundipe out of the country so that Gowon could become the head of state.
Yes. So Ogundipe was smuggled out of the country, later made the ambassador or something in England somewhere.
Yeah, in England.
No, Nigerian High Commission to London, to the UK.
Yeah. Yes. Eventually, Awolowo, who had been the one to prop up the government, just like Professor Osinbajo was propping up Buhari's government now. What out? They pushed him out.
You see, we can now see why history has been taken away from teaching the Nigerian
Yes,
children, because these people know
yes.
that history will never judge them right.
They pushed him out.
Yeah.
I can tell the young man for nothing that they never allowed Tinubu to become president of Nigeria. I can tell him you can take it to the bank. To the bank. They will never allow Tinubu to become president of Nigeria. Did they care about elections? Is Tinubu closer to the Northerners than MKO Abiola?
No, he was fighting for his own. After all, Tinubu went behind closed doors went to Abacha to be even negotiating for a commissionership. But not many people know.
Like I said, I don't want anybody to think that I'm trying to run him down. But very well.
We know him before he became any.
We knew him before he became governor of Lagos. Yeah. When they ran Abacha bared his fans. They took to their heels using semi-powder. The whole lot of them. They fled. They had to flee. It was either you flee or you will land in jail, or worse still, land in a grave. So we know him. There's not a problem. But you can take it to the bank. The Fulanis will not ever see power to Tinubu. Already, if my information is correct, Rufai, the governor of Kaduna, is already he's warming up.
I know. You see, that is if 2023 exists, because I doubt if it is going to exist, because I don't even want to go into the issue of 2023, because I am focused on how we will realize Oduduwa Republic. I'm not a Nigerian. I've destroyed their passport in fire. Everyone knows over the social media. And I want to go straight for my Oduduwa Republic. Is better I go for that now or never. Now, I think
moving on. Moving on. 1979, the alliances that brought about the formation of the National Party of Nigeria. Our young man was 4 years old. If he was born in 1975, he was 4 years old.
And he won't recollect that. He won't recollect the role that MKO played with formation of the National Concord and the Weekend Concord, and how he flew in Delegiwa to counter everything against the UPN, the Aditaki, the Akinjide.
Wait a minute. MKO Abiola was the single largest financial contributor to the MPN fund. The
MPN, yes. Where did he get the money from? From the government. From your money, my money.
He put 5 million naira. As at 1979, 5 million 1979 naira was what he donated at the start of the MPN. All the people who made the MPN stand up financially were from the south. MKO Abiola was one. Dr. Olusola Saraki was one.
Olusola Saraki was one.
By 1982, MKO had left the MPN in disgust. He quit the MPN.
I'm going to interfere a little bit there. I'm going to interfere a little bit there. I really thank everyone who has contributed to today's program. You're going to continue in a minute. You're going to continue in a minute. I'm not stopping you at all.
No,
I'm not going to stop you.
They are under 40. Tinubu is deceiving them. Why did MKO leave the MPN?
I'm not going to stop you. Could you hold on a minute? Hold on a minute.
He was told to his face on June 12, I think, in 1982, in Shagari's office, when Shagari invited him so that the party would not collapse, so that they would solve the problem, when Diko was going around saying that the presidency was not for sale.
Yes.
Okay. Can I take it a little bit away from you for a second?
Right to his face that Chief, MKO asked him, Mr. President, what happened to our cast iron agreement to rotate the presidency between the north and the south? Shagari's reply Well, sir, Chief, sir. Uh, well, Allah has willed it that some people have to hold the horns, while some people milk the cow. That was Alhaji Seun Shagari's
That was
response
a very,
to
very good explanation of what is going on in Nigeria. I really appreciate my uncle for speaking up his mind on that issue there. And we're going to continue this in a minute. I just want to point some few things out quickly before we continue. I really want to thank every one of you who has gone through this learning curve with us today. I must seriously apologize to my brother Olayomi Koiki for not being part of this because it was Koiki, were you listening in the background before?
Oh yes, I was listening at the background. I think just to quickly say, it's good to sit down and listen. I mean, I'm 1978, and so many of what is being discussed now. I mean, as much as people might say, "How come you don't even have an idea?" But maybe I should also blame some of us that are also speaking now because where have you all guys been?
Why
Because
will you blame them? Let me just get it
okay,
straight because I'm still gonna give you
I'll
back
give
to
you an
Uncle.
example. Let me quickly say. I mean, I finished secondary school in 1995, and I'm not sure whether history that I'm hearing today was play out as at that time. But what I think was we had a generation that left, the country, maybe for one reason or the other, but we're not able to feed us back. What we are doing right now, we are feeding back another generation that doesn't even know exactly what I don't know and what so many other generation of my caliber don't know. So it's not too late, but I think we've been gagged, to think, some individuals. I remember going to Nigeria 2 years ago, and I was playing back, some videos on YouTube about late Chief MK Abiola, but the picture that was put to our face was a philanthropist, someone that was doing everything, for the betterment of the country. But behind the scene, we can see that there's quite a lot of things happening. And that's the same thing that we are discussing here. I mean, like my brother that I've just been listening to, telling us about having a better understanding of who, Ashwaju is as well. So what I'm trying to say is, I think it is a good cause that we started this kind of conversation. Whether we like it or not, this kind of conversation has to be heard. It might be painful, either from the south to the north to the southeast. I mean, I've been on the social media in the last 1 hour. Nnamdi Kanu has been speaking. David Hamilton has been speaking. There's a kind of, all kind of hatred. But yes, we can agree there will be hatred. But the most important thing is, how do we get to where we are going? Because if we can have all this hatred and conversation, the problem is, as we speak right now, I'm right on the Twitter right now, and it says that, in one part of the country, there's darkness. We are here now, there's electricity, we can have this kind of conversation, but as we speak right now, millions of people back in Nigeria, in our rural community, are in darkness, and yet they can't understand why are we in darkness. Because some of us have decided not to sacrifice a lot. I would love to see, podcasts of what my brother is saying there, distributed to every part of the corner of the, country, and also translated. I'll go back to you again to you in the studio because I can see that the screen
Okay.
is back to you.
We promised so many things at the beginning of the week, and I know I have very few people left online. Uh, we might not be arguing things, we might not be hammering things, we might not be fighting, we might not be splitting our venom. But do we really need to split up venom? I don't think so. We just need to educate our people. Education will liberate you. Education will set you free. Knowing what goes on. This is why I said to my brother earlier on that I'm going to call him because we might. Can I tell you one thing? The last time we spoke to, we had a meeting with Professor Banji Akitoye. My brother was there. Daddy Ajala was there as well, right? That is the day I get convinced about this course. You remember that day I was saying we need to take it easy because we don't want to get some few people into trouble. And remember what Daddy said. Daddy said to us that day, I'm sure Daddy Ajala is still in the background, even though he's trying to munch his food. I didn't allow him to eat for the last 3 hours, right? Daddy Ajala, did you remember what Daddy said what Professor Banji Akintoye said?
Yeah,
He said
this is not go on.
He said it's too late
Yeah, it's too late to
take it easy.
to take it easy.
It's
It's
too
just
late
like
to hide.
when Kaju was telling me be pelebe, I mean, guys, no, it be pelebe. It's Latin blog like that. We've come to the time where we have to state clearly we want our sovereignty back.
Mm.
We've had enough of the mess. Auto
Yeah. Daddy,
and the
I'll
whole
let
world.
you go and finish your food, sir, because it's not good. I've grieved you a lot today. I've given so much trouble to you today. So
Okay.
I'm going to Olayomi Koiki. The issue there is that our history has been disrupted by people who are well to do in our society. Okay, can I ask you one question? I'm gonna give it to Olayomi Koiki, then I'll give it back to my brother. I'm actually gonna give it to my brother and Olayomi Koiki, or maybe 3 of you, or even 4 of you, right? To let you iron things out a little bit before I come back to the scene in about 15 minutes or so. Can I say something to you? Before this program we put up together, have you ever heard this anywhere else? Olayomi Koiki.
Regarding what?
Regarding the history that's been played out today, the truth that's been made known today.
Well, I mean, I've had bit and bit of it, but what I'm trying to explain is, in a kind of I mean, I saw someone say that there was not media as at that time, but I remember my very good friend from Montserrat, which was he was on our show, Clyde, Galactic Clyde. It's from
Clyde,
Montserrat,
yeah, Clyde.
and he said to me, Yomi, do you know that you guys are so lucky to have opportunity of the media that you have now? I used to buy books when I was in America because they were burning those books down because they don't want us to know what would be of benefit to us. And now that people even have that same opportunity in terms of the media now, we are not making use of it. I mean, I want to see more of this kind of conversation, which we are doing now, to be on the YouTube, to be on the podcast, and start, diluting it and translating it to other languages as well. That will be of benefit, to not just myself, to some of our children that are also growing up. I mean, before coming online, I was discussing with my family downstairs, giving them, what has been happening. But we want to make sure that we also play, a kind of a documentary, if we want to call it, because they watch other documentaries. But this documentary that we are discussing here is more important to those generations, because whether we like it or not, we're going to exit at one point, but nobody knows what point we're going to exit. Like
That's
I
true.
said to you, since January, I've been grilling my mom. She's been thinking maybe I'm going mad, but I'm not going mad. I'm just trying to ask questions that was difficult to ask back in the days when I was growing up.
Okay.
And that is the only way. If our children that are 4 years old, 3 years old can question us right now, why
can
is
question
it
the
difficult
adults
that we can question and ask those questions? I'll
Okay.
go back to you again in the studio.
Thank you very much, Olayomi Koiki. I really appreciate that. This is what I'm going to ask you guys. Yeah. I promised Evan and Nell that by the weekend our app is going to be back. They asked me to fashion a podcast into it, and they've asked me to cut out bite sizes into bite sizes from what we have currently. They said, you know what, Mr. Thomas, we want some bite sizes. So some of this information we have tonight, we're gonna chop it down. Shola, if you're online, if you're listening, this is your job now. This is not my job anymore. The good thing is about you know about the struggle already. You're gonna chop it down to about 10, 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes of what makes sense. And we can put it up to WhatsApp and send it and flood the market with it so that everybody will know. And the chunk side of this one is going to go into podcast as well, right? And then we can distribute it from podcast. And I said, by the grace of God, before the end of the month, when the lockdown is over and plane can go to Nigeria, we're going to send things to Nigeria. You custom, keep waiting. You will wait that kingdom come because you won't know when we're gonna bring our transmitter in. If you want to waste your time and wait for Mr. Thomas to bring the transmitter in, and you can see you're wasting your time. I am clever than you. I am far better clever than you. I will bring it in, and you will not see it. It's just gonna be a share. Wọ́n ní tá a bá fẹ́ mọ lójú àríran lẹ́ máa fi rí, tá a bá ti fẹ́ mọ lójú ọmọ ò ní ríran ẹ̀kọ́ tọ́ra yín jẹ ni. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna give it to my brother and Yomi Koiki and Fatayo Kirudo and Frank Bello, and I will I will let Frank Bello moderate it, and then the four of you can have a proper conversation, adult conversation, until I return back to the scene. Go ahead, sirs.
Yes, I think where I'm going to start first of all, I'm going to involve both Yomi Koiki and Mr. Oguribito, because
I gathered, Mr. Oguribito, please correct. Let's put this record straight, because
I think we might not involve Mr. Okribido and Olayomi Koiki, because it's good to have Olayomi Koiki to actually take some lectures from these adults.
Okay,
what do you think?
All right, okay. Yes, okay, all right. Let me, myself and Mr. Oguribido will first trash this out, because this actually involves the media. And Mr. Oguribido and I we've been at the forefront of the media in Nigeria for a very long time. Mr. Oguribido from the Punch.
Can I say one thing again? You have a luxury of having this young man today. This young man here is a luxury to have him.
Yes,
so,
yes, I'm going to include him as well.
Don't waste him.
Yeah, I'm going to include him. But I mean, obviously, the four of us will chip in. But the first area I really want to touch, and we have to discuss on this, that somebody said that there was no media in Nigeria at the time to educate people. And I think we know, all of us, at least myself, Mr. Oguribido, and then Mr. Thomas, what's the name of our gentleman from the US?
Why will you ask me his name? Why can't you ask him?
Sir.
The gentleman with Mr. Ajala, with Daddy Ajala.
Mr. Ajala, yes, Mr. Ajala.
No, it's not Mr. Ajala, the gentleman with Mr. Ajala.
That's Afolabi.
Okay, yeah, we know the gentleman with Daddy Ajala.
Mr. Afolabi.
Yeah, Mr. Afolabi. Okay, Mr. Afolabi and myself, we knew quite all right, because I was a little bit disturbed and I was a little bit agitated when I got that gist that there was no media at the time to educate people. But as a matter of fact, Mr. Ajala, Mr. Oguribido, you will remember West Africa, don't you? And Mr. Oguribido, let's put our own mainstream media, the Daily Times, the Punch, the Tribune, the Guardian, let's put them to one side, and then New Nigeria and the rest of them. We had West Africa. Who killed West Africa? I'll throw it to everyone, because we all know West Africa ceased to exist in Nigeria during whose regime? We know. Now, apart from West Africa, we had Time magazine, Newsweek magazine that came in. Apart from those two international publications that came from abroad in terms of news gathering, news information, and the rest of it, we had, for those who want to read leisure, there was Reader's Digest, there was Orders. And you see, when we were growing up as well in Nigeria, you remember Leo and his magic shoes?
Nigeria.
Do you remember? Do you remember Leo and his magic shoes? We had comics in Nigeria at the time. So when you see, I don't know. You see, maybe Mr. Ajala wants to chip in and then probably talk about this, and then
Maybe Mr. Oguribido will take it after Mr. Ajala. Go on, Mr. Ajala.
Generally, there was information. Western Nigeria was what people generally call Nigeria. It was not Nigeria, it was Western region of Nigeria. And Western region, I grew up to see red division, passing messages from Ibadan to all towns and villages. Red division, radio broadcast as for Obagbesi. So there was information. You see, and our people in the villages there knew that they were not part of Nigeria, but part of Western region. And they knew our coat of arms, our item, our maize, that the staff of authority in the house was known by every village in the time. And then there was shortwave transmission that carried, apart from the red division, there was shortwave transmission in the south. You all will know that
we had the division, yes. Yes.
apart from red division, there was shortwave transmission in the south. It's only in the north that you have shortwave covers every nook and corner. But as at 1960, when we had independence, the voice of Nigeria and shortwave was retained in the north. They claim that they are very large, therefore they have to use shortwave. Are we not large also in the south, the west and east? And yet our leaders did not even protest for all this removal of all this communication. And Daily Times had a network of distribution throughout the country. I remember I was told by Daily Times driver that the Daily Times of the day always goes to Maiduguri the following day in the evening. Then in the south, the same day the Daily Times publications got there, people were rich because the agricultural economy was very high. So people bought newspapers at home. If you are told that there was no news media at that time, no. Everything started to collapse immediately we had independence. And particularly, I always tell people that Nigeria died in 1962 when Western region became a basa or what I would call an appendage of the federal government, and which it is up to now. Because authority was removed from Western region for no reason. Just 5 days of a crisis, Balewa and Madu Bello and Zik, who are the center, decided to close down Western region. And that's a prelude to all these structures we have up to today. But our own people do not understand. We challenged some of them when they came to London at that time, headed by from Olaniwo Ajayi was there, Olufalaye was there, and this other man from Ejebode, Ejo kí lorúkọ wọn sìn. Because sometimes I forget these names because I'm good in numbers, but names. But what happened was that we challenged them that, look, what are you all doing? Everything is destroyed. Lagos is supposed to be a center of commerce and industry worldwide. Why should Lagos be denied of electricity? You are not looking at it.
Daddy Ajala, are you referring to Baba Oja Chief Adeola Odutola?
No. Odutola was a friend of the Queen Elizabeth's father. And if you want to know, she visited Odutola in 1956 in his house in Ijebode, the Queen, when she came to Nigeria. Because she said, I want to see the friend of my father. That was the Queen of England. So some of you think that the English do not like you, miss the road. It's us who do not like ourselves. We are too full of verbiage, imperialism, colonialism, without looking at the depths of where it's coming from. We allowed it. Twice, the British, if you want, I will read what a colonial master said recently, having seen what was happening in Nigeria, which is predicted that there will be continuous bloodletting until that country
Hmm.
dissolved. He
Okay.
said
Let me
here,
quickly ask. Yeah. Can I
I
quickly?
will,
Sorry, Daddy Jalata. Can I quickly ask throw the same question to Mr. Gulibido to see to
okay.
check to see what he's got to say. Mr. Gulibido, over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bello. Honestly, we are so blessed tonight because what we are discovering now is that Heritage Television is having a repackage of historians who are going to educate the youths about what has been happening in the past. And we are so blessed to have our daddies tonight who actually
Yeah.
have backed up the intention to allow the Yoruba nation to emerge. Now, back to the real question, Yomi. Even right from the early 60s, Nigerian, I mean, the Yoruba region happens to be the most vibrant media house in the entire Nigeria, in the entire country.
Hmm.
So what that guy meant to tell you was that there was no social media then that could have done things the way it is being done now. So I think you misconceived what he was trying to say about the media, because without the press, without the media, there was no way democracy could have been practiced. There was no way election could have been so successful during that period of time, even though marred by various, malpractices and rigging. So Mr. Bello has expressed everything, all the nations that newspapers that actually ruled during that period of time, and I mean, up to today, we are still rated as the best media,
section.
organizations that are ruled even over Africa, Western Nigeria. We still retain that dignity and that pride up till now. So I think what he meant to say was that there was no social media during that period of time that could have exposed so many things as they are being exposed now. So that is what has really actually happened. So bear it in mind that during even maybe you've been told that even in 1979, Papa Awolowo was getting so much grants, and the entire nation was actually focused on him as going to lead Nigeria. Those who actually pull back that ambition and actually putting the entire nation into on its stance was the activities of anti-Awolowo squad led by Abiola Akinloye Akinjide, and then the establishment of National Concord, which was mainly established to antagonize Nigerian Tribune, which was then the people that were reigning in the whole of Western region. If many of us who worked and who so much love Awolowo with passion, when we were invited to work in Concord, despite the fact that Concord staff then were the most highly paid
Yes.
journalists in
Yes.
the entire country,
Yes.
there was
Yes.
being dished so much money that all the financially ambitious journalists were running there. Even though many of the reporters and journalists there, they mortgaged their conscience simply because they saw money and they were aligning with Chief MK Abiola. Even though he retracted that later with what happened in 1993, but at the same time, the issue is there. And we are happy tonight that Mr. Falabi has been so honestly, God will continue to bless your rising. Please, we need you to come and educate our youths at every stage. May God continue to bless
Yeah.
you.
Thank you very
So,
much. Thank you very much.
Nigeria has always been
Daddy,
vibrant
Daddy.
journalism.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Gulibido. I want to throw this
Can
question back
I,
to Daddy
can I,
Angela.
can I, can I
Yeah, I
before
want to
you,
throw this question back to Daddy Angela because Mr. Gulibido, you did make mention that uh, uh, MKO established the National Concord as anti-Awolowo. Daddy Ajala,
Yes.
with due respect to you, sir, with due respect, why did MKO Abiola National Concord, why did that newspaper die?
well, when a newspaper is formed on a basis of discord, it does not last. And after that, I don't blame Abiola up to some point. He thought he was a nationalist. That was his vision. Some of us spoke to him even before he died in London here. We warned him about what he was going to do. So, but the paper did not last much long, and he left MPN.
Yeah,
But the paper
yeah.
lost its own image and its own theme. It was no longer able to report anything negative about the Tribune and the leadership of Awolowo. So you see how it faded out. And even when he tried to import pulp paper for his printing press, the people
Oh
he
yes,
thought
sir.
he was supporting stopped it
They were, yeah.
since the papers. So you see,
They were.
like Afolabi said, anytime a Yoruba man thinks that he can have an accommodation with these people who are semi-Arabs, they always get burnt.
Thank
We
you,
are,
sir.
yeah, they always get burnt. Even even at his election, Yaradua swore to high heaven that unless he dies, then Abiola can never be president. That's what he said. He told
Yeah,
some people who were sent to visit him. So you see,
that
we
is
have been playing a game that we have dragged back our civilization by over 300 years. That is what Chakwara Williams said in 1914 before he died. Said that we should not be part of this amalgam. I use the word amalgam over and over. And I want every youth and every elder to note, if an amalgam fails, it gets dissolved. So it is time to dissolve that amalgam. It has failed. Lamido said it
okay.
is weak. If you saw the papers, some of the
Yeah,
postings today.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it is
yeah,
weak.
yeah,
The
yeah.
Yoruba race is not going to be part of that weakness. It has to get its sovereignty back. Thank you.
Daddy, thank you, sir. Let me respond to what Daddy has been talking about.
Yes,
Yeah.
go
Honestly,
on.
I think there is no way we can plan for the future without referring to the past and our present, because the past and the present will determine what happens in the future. Now, at this is year 2020. If anybody from the southern part of Nigeria will think that power will come to the south, or that anybody that is imagined as a presidential candidate in the south will get power, honestly, that person must be having some mental problems, because we are all witnesses to what has been playing since independence. How most southerners are being tossed around in divide and conquer tactics. So when the evidence is there, we see the power that Abiola was wielding. See Obasanjo, who has now discovered after over 56 years of his romance with northern generals, thinking that, like just like Abiola, that he's a nationalist. Before he realized what has been happening since his advent as one of the major Keba power holders in Nigeria, you can imagine what happened to him. I can assure you that where Papa OBJ is now is playing his step back to realize that he had been fooled all along by this cabal that has hijacked the destiny of the entire nation, particularly the destiny of Yoruba nation, putting them right inside the desert of the north. Because we are all witnesses to what has been happening. We are all witnesses to what happened even in year 2009-10, when we had PDP trying to pull back Jonah from acting on behalf of Canada because he was hospitalized. We saw how these generals came together and were demanding, putting across to Nigerians conditions that will allow them to allow Jonathan to act in capacity as Nigerian president when Yanaga was hospitalized. So anybody with his right senses would never ever thought that if he comes to want to represent any political party in Nigeria as presidential candidate, they are going to be used and dumped, even if not killed. Anybody thinking about that now, honestly, it's not fit to live at all in our current Nigeria. Sorry to take your time.
I want to bring in your Mr. Kuribido, I want to bring in your Koiki here. Now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
your Koiki,
I think it's
Can I
lying.
say something to your Koiki, please? Yomi,
Yes,
I could
yes,
have
Yeah,
gotten
Daddy,
in
yeah.
touch,
Daddy, yes. Please carry
I
on,
could have
Dad.
gotten in
Daddy,
touch
carry on.
with you. I could have gotten in touch with you for quite a while now. You know, Otumba.
In fact, Daddy, what I wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
before I wanted to bring in Yomi Koiki was Obasanjo food.
Well, he allowed himself to be.
Food how?
I mean, fruit,
Yeah. Let me
basically.
hold on. Let me say we know Obasanjo very well. At some point when he came to London before he became president, he met with a group of us Yorubas. Some of us, unfortunately, I couldn't attend that meeting. Some of us who did, he was told now that who died then, Adesanya, when Adesanya had passed on. Now that Adesanya is no longer around, are you now the
And
next
you mean
Yoruba leader?
Abraham Adekoya?
Yes, because I
Okay,
had
sir.
meetings with him with a total number of hours, about 6 hours of meetings. One of them was about 3 hours over this same issue, and trying to encourage him to call other leaders of Yoruba that were in grave danger. This is even before Obasanjo came. We are
Was
in grave
president. Was
danger.
president. Hmm.
And Koiki asked from Oseni. I told him that if he was, continues to say that he's a patriotic Nigeria, I'll personally come and carry his load and dump it in Sokoto so that he lives amongst them. If they will not use Goje to drive him back, that is if he can consent. You see, this is not a matter of a joke. Afolabi's been telling us the bare fact of how it all began way back ever before the white man came to our land. These people are not a people we should, because we are collectively called Nigeria, a mere trading post, a share of influence, a share of influence which was agreed in 1860. And we have never said I'm a proud Nigerian. I'm a bad man who happens to live in Nigeria. Even in my workplace, where are you from? I said I'm a Yoruba man who come. Then that's what I wrote down in my workplace. No, this is not a matter of laughing. I
This is
want
the
the young
reality.
men to know they have been denied the history of the whole very powerful Yoruba race that existed
Yes.
for over 10,000 years. And that even at 7 BC in Iwo, there was metallurgical industry. Ask from any Iwo man, Iwo Eleru, they don't know the meaning. It's the
Well, I think
refuse from metal material. So you see, this is the time now to hear the history. Just like some masters, my great grandfather said, ẹni tó bá fẹ́ mọ ọjọ́ iwájú ó gbọ́dọ̀ mọ ibi tóun ti ń bọ̀. Á dẹ̀ mọ ibi
Yes.
tóun dúró sí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni,
And
sir.
then that's our Yoruba philosophy. The English one will say you have to look far back into antiquity
Yes.
to be able to see further forward into the future. And in the middle, only also yesterday, today, tomorrow. Ó
And
lágbára.
tomorrow.
Yes. Ẹni tí ò bá mọ nǹkan tó ń bọ̀ tí òun ti rí lẹ́yìn kò ní mọ ibi tóun dúró sí, kò dẹ̀ ní mọ̀ bóun ṣe máa ṣe ọjọ́ iwájú. The
Daddy,
understanding of that
well,
has left all of us, and we have to bring it back. And that is why we are campaigning to educate our people. We need our sovereignty back. Otoge.
Daddy, thank you, sir. Let me have this, sir. I
let
think
me.
Yes.
we have a solid point now because in 2014, the amalgamation even expired because it was only for 100 years. And I think that has given
Exactly.
us a solid base for argument now. 2014,
Yeah.
it
So
expired.
it's well. That's to be deserved.
And I think
Don't let
thank you
anybody
very much.
say we have a no.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yomi Koiki, you want to say something?
Yes,
Yomi Koiki, do you want to say
chip in
something?
Yeah, I want to say something. I think what has actually happened is and thank you very much for that background there, and it's good to still have the elders within the community that we can continue to reach out to, and we hope the others as well that are still also within their confinement will also come out and discuss some of these very important discussions that we're having tonight. It now makes me remember that I made a journey to Ijebu Waterside. I'm just looking at a picture in front of me on my Facebook page on the 5th of November 2017 to where it's known as Iwokwe, where we should have had the number one paper mill. And I think what actually was, I think that probably the collapse, that kind of system, because if we have that Iwokwe that would have been running as at the time they said it was operational, and ready to go live, because I was on the water side and people were even worried about my safety for going on that, boat that take me around the whole of that axis. And what we've seen now is, that has been brought by, from, information I was told, the Hebrew family, and I think Dangote refinery is working on the other side as well. I'm told during the night time, you can see the beam of the light. What am I trying to say is, if we have got that kind of Iwokwe in operation, we will have had our own material in terms of, quality, paper, and that kind of education that we are discussing now will have also. So I think poverty was also injected. I mean, somebody just asked there, why I didn't get to know that history. I mean, I have a mother that was training 4 children, lost her husband at a very young tender age, struggling. And I think Frank Bello was able to listen to my mom during one of my broadcasts. She was one of the first secretaries. She worked as a secretary with Mobile Oil, in 1970. I mean, in the 70s. And what am I trying to say is, in a situation where families are struggling, poverty has already kicked in. And that same poverty is still running in the DNA of almost every Nigerian around the whole country. We've seen how they are now playing even the Alimajiri from the north, and people don't even want to take them. It's like they're now moving them like a basketball, football pitch, moving them from one side of the country to the other. Why can't they leave them where they are and give them that quality education? That same quality education has literally affected every one of us. And we didn't have that opportunity, just like so many people had it in the 70s and the 60s with the regional government that you're discussing. I looked at it and I said to myself, the reason why a lot of us even...
Daddy, Daddy Ajala, I want to, because Ikoiki did make mention of something in relations to the Almanjiri children. My question to you, sir, is why did the North fail to educate the Northerners?
That's their political ball game. Stop.
It's part of the feudal system.
It's a part of the feudal system, which they want us to buy into. That's why places like the Wokwe and even bought that Ekpebotia was producing boats that were ordered from England. The Stapler plywood, the second in the world, was producing all forms of formica and wood, and even prefab houses that were sold in Kingsway, costing about just 7 naira for a 3-bedroom en-suite houses, were installed and sold in Kingsway. What happens that there's a deliberate act, which I keep on saying. I was part of a team that went to study production. Chief Lagunju was the chairman of the NDA. NDA means Niger Dam Authority, not Nigerian Defense Academy.
Nigerian Defense Academy.
No, Niger Dam Authority. The Almanjiri issue has come up because the North does not want education for its people. And that's why along the line, there was even a quote in, what's his name? Colin Motoshaw's book, where Ahmadu Bello was asking Awolowo, how do you want free education for every child? Your children will attend the same school with the other children? My children can't. That's why they have exclusive blue blood schools for their own class. It's a class system which we are battling with. How do you want to have a political accommodation with the people who has a class system, who are even semi-Arabs? These are the facts. Black Arabs. Black Arabs. I have friends amongst them. I've discussed this same thing with them like I've told them it's best for you to have your Arewa Republic, which is already existing within the country. De facto republic is existing in the country already. There's a map of it which I will present.
That's another reason why Tinubu will never be able to achieve his ambition of becoming president, because black Arabs, Negroes don't know it. A lot of Negroes don't know it. Only a few Negro intellectuals realize that black Arabs would never allow a Negro to lead them. Never, ever. That's why Abiola was blocked. Leopold Senghor, I don't know whether you remember Leopold Senghor,
Of Senegal.
of Senegal, Senegalese. He was the one.
He was a poet.
Yes. Leopold Sedar Senghor was the one who exposed the
Yeah, he was a
Fulanis.
poet.
He exposed the Fulani in his writings about saying that the Fulanis, that he said the Nigerians and the Algerians were inviting Arabs into Africa to come and destroy negritude, to impose Arab imperialism, and that Senegal will resist. Now, the reason why Senghor had to kick against the Arabs was because Leopold Senghor himself is half Negro, half Arab. Leopold Senghor's mother was Fulani. Leopold Senghor's mother was Fulani. So Leopold Senghor revealed in his writings the plans of the Fulanis against the Negroes in Black Africa. There is a fault line that runs through the geopolity of West and Central Africa. In fact, during the time that Clapperton came to Sokoto first in 1822, Danfodio had just died 5 years before. Danfodio had captured Gobert. Sokoto was known as Gobert before Danfodio captured it and renamed it Sokatu. S-O-C-C-O. Sokatu, later to be named Sokoto. And this area, including Niger and Chad, were known as the Central Sudan. Central Sudan in the early 1800s, 1820s. And the fault line that broke the country of Sudan into two, Northern and Southern Sudan, runs through Nigeria. That geopolitical fault line runs through Nigeria. It will break Nigeria eventually.
Let me please put this across to the place. And how in those days we have sugar in Jeba, we have textile industry in Ado Ekiti, which actually formed our excursion routes when we were in the secondary school. When we really want to travel for excursion, we want Yomi to know tonight that there is a major textile industry in Ado Ekiti, which actually stretch almost a mile radius, where clothes were then manufactured. And then in Jeba sugar industry was serving most part of West Africa. And then Oda group of companies that actually was actually powering the Western Nigeria economy then. All those companies up to today have been destroyed, that we have even 10 out of those almost 154 companies that made the Oda group of company. Danny, please educate us more about this.
Well, if I may roll the clock forward, about 30 years ago, Odua in a group of companies requested of the so-called federal Nigeria that they wanted to build railways to connect their own towns and villages in the west. The federal government refused and said it was federal matters, exclusive matters. And they quickly brought the map up and drew some straight lines across Nigeria, one through Western Nigeria to Kano and then Maiduguri, and another from Port Harcourt up, that they are going to build those standard gauge railway. That's 30 years ago. Has it been built? The answer is no. We have been fooled for too long. Our leaders have, that's why I have been called to government. Even what I'm saying now, some of my speeches have been recorded by Obasanjo when he just came to power. I was talking on one radio station called Wazobia. I told the owner of the station, I said, Wazobia has no meaning. Because if you say
Yes.
Wazobia, what's the next word after Wazobia? Wazobia. Then after Wazobia, what's that? I said, we educated Southerners keep on fooling ourselves and believing that there's a country that we are living in, which our forefathers know nothing about. My mom always asks me, kí ló ń ṣe àwọn ọmọ tó ń pe Nàìjíríà? Eh? That was before he died. Ṣé nílùú wa ilẹ̀ Yorùbá mọ́ ni? That's the question my mom asks.
They were looking
Is
at
it
us as
our own
gold.
fault? Our Tagba PhD, I was speaking to a PhD chemical engineer about the same issue. You know what he did? In Ekiti, because I have friends all over Ile Yoruba. Name it from Igbohoni to Badagry to Kitupa. I lived in Kitupa. And where he's talking Ekpe, it's a very beautiful place, undeveloped. Have always dreamt of how that the riverside could be stepped up and built into a durbar for celebration, for fishing, and redeveloping the Ekpe boat yard. It's still there. It can be woken up. And the working this thing to still be revived. This is a
The
big task for all of us.
the foundation.
If immediately we have 5 years and we have the manpower to do all this. The engineers in the railway here to form a consortium of railway engineers that we can take over the construction of our. It's a matter of just getting the equipment. We know what to do.
Definitely, sir. We know what to do.
Yes, just like this thing, Malaysia, the twin towers, they just thank them, pay them off, and they built it. So what the hell? What's in building railway? What's building an what's making a standard road with the correct structure, substrata, whereby you have to make it so that it will not. A road is supposed to last 40 years before any repairs if it is made well. Look at international manuals. And if it is going to 60 years, then it means it is too expensive to construct. The assessors of roads, of which I have studied, that's why one example is your Ife Ondo Road. I was at school then, we used to go to the site. It's almost places about 32 inches thick. That's why that road is still the only good road in southern Nigeria. All other roads are useless roads. Is it the road from and then the Ibadan Ijebode road was made up to that standard. The old Ibadan Ijebode road. Then the express the Obasanjo constructed was just rubbish. They just scraped it and then put the tar of about 6 inches, then started making gallop. People were flying into the bush. And that is pride? So, I'm sorry, coming back to the story, the North and the South cannot work and cannot succeed. We cannot continue to make any excuse of accommodation. We and the East can work, but we should be on an agreement. That's what I need. Because a Yoruba man cannot buy a piece of land in the East. That's true. Even amongst themselves, we are different. So we leave it to them. We can cooperate. We can better instead of that narrow bridge that was built. It was supposed to be a 10-lane bridge, the Onitsha bridge. What was built there? That narrow, nasty thing. Even the old Jebode Chagam Bini road was supposed to be a standard road. But under Balewa, he just put Nyogi Lorie, if you want me to speak Yoruba. And then they said they have built a 64. I traveled on it. I have traveled all over our land, and I know what it pains me that I know what we can do in every square inch of our land. And we have tar sand of high quality, largest deposit of tar sand for oil from Akure down to Tupa, spreading to Ijebu-Ode and to Benin, right way down to Tupa, if you know the map of Western Nigeria. We have enough resources. Is it in Ijebu-Ode, sorry, Ilesha, on the road to Itabure, there's oil there. On my grandfather's land, there's oil and limestone. Don't let
They are loot, they are just looting everything to their leaving us in penury in the south.
Because
Yeah,
I think, Mr. Ogunibido, I want to ask Daddy a fantastic question, and that question is very important. But before I do that, I just want to, because this is all about sensitizing people all over the whole places. So I think I want to indulge most of the viewers listening to please go to the Heritage GoFundMe so that you can quickly donate whatever you can afford, and people in Nigeria can access all this program on their smartphone without any internet. So please go to that GoFundMe and then donate whatever you can. Daddy, I'm coming back to you. And this question is very important. And I know you know so much about it, sir. When was the last time Nigeria had a development plan?
Well, I would say the development plan that of note was the one in 1951 to 54, 54 to 55, to 55. And after then, there have been only what I would call emergency planning. There's never been any time Nigeria sat down to look forward, far forward into the future. And that's why one speech I will all gave in the when the first budgetary deposition was made at the first independence government, Awolowo gave an alternative budget. He planned for 20 years. And do you know what the Minister for Finance then, Okutebo, said to him? Sit down, sir. You are not the person in government. You cannot be planning for us. We know what to do for Nigeria.
Oh my God.
Yes, Okutebo said that to Awolowo. But unfortunately, Awolowo was also somebody who thought he was a nationalist. But they forgot to learn what is the meaning of a nation. A nation is a people of a common origin, common ancestral origin, common language, common way of life, and
Thank,
common way of eating.
Mr.
Does
Frank,
thank
what
you
did
Nigeria
you
very much, Daddy.
Nigeria
I
qualify?
think
what did you
So you cannot.
I think Mr. Thomas wants to take over the studio now. I'm
Okay,
pretty
okay.
sure. Uh,
So you
I
see,
just
Mr.
want
Thomas,
Yeah,
we
yeah, I'm
don't
here.
see any proper planning. All we see is that they read the budget yearly and say in the year so. There's no specifics that at
hmm,
time the target of so should be met. There has never been
hmm,
since independence. Look at the records, please. There's none.
hmm,
The old ones, I went to the Nigerian embassy because they know me there. I've always told them I'm not interested in that. Some people have bags of money. That's not my interest. My interest is that we are collectively destroying ourselves.
Okay,
We are
thank you
collectively
very much,
destroying
sir.
ourselves.
We really
And that's what
appreciate
I
that.
told Obasanjo, that we are collectively destroying ourselves, and that as long as the Nigerian state exists, we will never move forward. We will
Wow.
rather continue to build
hmm,
houses. It's not, but the Yoruba race will move forward immediately it exists out of it. Within
Okay,
hmm,
5 years
hmm,
and 10 years, there'll be progress. There'll be seated down
massive.
plan of action that will
wow.
look into the future, what to do in the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, so that our children's children will have a legacy to
To
come back to
follow.
and thank you, our elders, for waking up before it is too late. It will never be too late for the Yoruba race.
Amen. Amen.
Thank,
Daddy, I would
thank you
really
very
want to
much,
say
Daddy.
a very big
Thank you
thank you to you.
very much, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
Over to
thank
you,
you very
Thank
much,
Daddy.
you.
sir. Thank you. We
Ẹ
really
bá
want
mi
to
kí
say
Kóìkì kó má bínú, ó yẹ kí n ti pè látijọ́ yìí, I have his number.
That's fine.
okay.
No
We're
problem,
gonna go
sir.
to Olayomi Koiki because he has some figures for us.
Okay.
Yes, the figure is out. Figure is out. Like the INEC result. You know what? I remember when we were waiting for that June 12, 1993 result. Is like look, waiting for something. But anyway, let's go
Wait,
back straight to the reality on ground. And yes, the figure has finally been out. Another 195 confirmed new cases of coronavirus in Nigeria tonight. 195 new cases. I will give you the total in a minute, but let's break down where those 195 cases were found. In as much as in Gombe State, we saw what happened yesterday. People are saying coronavirus is not real, and we'll now say whether Gombe State will be included. 82 confirmed new cases in Lagos State, 30 in Kano, 19 in Zamfara, 18 in Sokoto, 10 in Borno, 9 in FCT, 8 in Oyo, 5 in Kebbi, 5 in Gombe, 4 in Ogun State, 3 in Katsina, 1 in Kaduna, 1 in Adamawa. We can now confirm that a total number of 3,145 confirmed cases of coronavirus in Nigeria, officially from the Nigerian Center for Disease Control. 534 people have been discharged. 103 people have now died of COVID-19, also known as coronavirus in Nigeria. I repeat that total number again, 3,145 have now been confirmed, with 534 discharged, 103 have now died. So much in terms of the situation. I will go back to you in the studio, but before I do that, I was listening to the presidential task force. Still a lot of issues in terms of bringing back Nigerians around the globe. You wonder, in a country that should have enough, but it seems we're struggling in this very COVID-19. 2,000 Nigerians are still stuck here in the United Kingdom and another 2,000 around the globe. But I can confirm that the aircraft that was bringing Nigerians from Dubai that made a U-turn because somebody gave back on that aircraft, it has finally now landed back in Lagos just about an hour ago. Again, a lot of you saw that aircraft that was making its way from Dubai, made a U-turn during the almost 60 minutes, and now it has finally arrived back in Nigeria. I will now move back to you in the studio, Heritage TV.
Thank you very much, Olayomi Koiki. We really appreciate everything you're doing. I'm going to give a job to Jimo Rasak. He's going to create a WhatsApp group for us. Yeah. I will later on create a WhatsApp group, send the link to Heritage Television, and send the link to send the link to Olayomi Koiki, send the link to Pa Frank Bello, send the link to Fatayo Krivido, and I will send the link to Daddy Alex. Daddy Alex, thank you for being with us. It's been a wonderful
Yeah,
honor of having somebody
Daddy,
knowledgeable like you guys
we
in the
say
midst.
Daddy long.
Joyce Noah,
Yes,
Jocelyn Noah, tomorrow is your night. You are actually anchoring the show tomorrow. It's going to be Biafran Day tomorrow on Heritage Television. So you will be the one anchoring it. So you need 3 guests plus yourself to make 4. So you need to arrange that. I will call you as soon as I come up here. I would like to say a very thank you to everyone. Can I ask a question? How was it to moderate? Frank Billo.
Enlighten?
How was it to moderate, Frank Billo?
Oh, okay, yeah,
I
sorry.
beg your pardon.
How was it to moderate this show?
Oh, well, it's very, very tiring. I was praying that you come back as quickly as possible.
And that's only
Because I
you,
think
and that's only you
I was
controlling.
feeling it.
Okay, that's only you controlling the script, the speech. Yeah, you know what I do here? I control. I have 4 keyboards in front of me, and I have 4 monitors in front of me. I have cameras as well, and I have to do the phone, do that keyboard, do that keyboard, do that keyboard, do that keyboard. Look at that screen. Look at that screen. Look at that screen. And look at that screen. But it's fun. It's fun. So, Frank Bello, as from next week on Tuesday, you will be the one anchoring this Tuesday show. I will not get involved with Tuesday show anymore. So on Tuesday, you're gonna do that. On Wednesdays and Thursday, Jocelyn Noah is gonna be anchoring the Biafran show. Yes, I am not kidding. I'm not kidding at all, my girl, my lady, my sister. I'm not kidding. So we want to build this platform. We want to make sure it works for everyone. We want to make sure it works for everyone. So I've pinned the Gomi Fund thing underneath. If you can support it, only if you can. Don't kill yourself. Don't kill yourself. This is not a money making thing, right? This is not money making thing. Yes, we want people in Nigeria to hear about it without spending a dime. And if you are listening from Nigeria again and you've been with us for more than 2 hours and you share when you come in, make sure you share when you're going out. I will have a look at you. And please inbox me your number. Inbox. Don't put it on the thing. Yeah, just inbox it, and we'll send you a recharge card to cover your cost of washing tonight. You are kidding me right now, sir. No, I'm not kidding you, my lady. I'm not at all kidding you. I'm not kidding you at all. And then again, what you can do again is make sure, please share this program. Share it, share it, share it, share it. It's a I will tell you one thing. It's a quality program. Quality program. I think we just need the right leader. We just need the right mindset for things to work for us, and it will work for us. Nobody can stop it from working. Nobody. Justin, where are you? Where are you? She had me. She's there. She's there online. She's there. She's anchoring. She's a good organizer. The last week Friday, she is the organizer of last week Friday's show, and I couldn't wait to thank her enough. That was a fantastic show because we only talk about it on Thursday evening, and 8 o'clock on Friday morning, she has pulled all the string in the whole world, and everything has worked. We're still waiting for people to pull the string for my ego to come in, because we want to pull everybody. We want to pull everybody together. Please follow this platform. Follow Fem Babalola is another good one. Whatever you have to support us. Not only monetary value alone. You can share the Gomi Fund thing. Share it. Let it go. Let it fly. If you don't put money there, it's not the end of the world. You need to look after your own family first before you put any money into that GoFundMe. Don't go and put money in the GoFundMe and your family is hungry, your parents back in Nigeria are hungry. No, that's not right. That's not godly. That is high service. That is high service. You need to look after your family first. You need to look after your parents, your sister, your family, your children. Don't be greedy with them. Yes, it will work for us. It's definitely gonna work. There's no stopping us now. You know that song? There's no stopping now. There is no stopping. So that one is gonna come in. I want to say a very big thank you to you, Daddy Ajala. 4 o'clock tomorrow, Yomi Olayomi Kweki will be anchoring. I don't know whether Yomi can actually anchor that because he won't know what to ask. Daddy Ajala and brother Afolabi will be on the show tomorrow at 4 o'clock p.m. Maybe we can even move it down to about 2 o'clock so that they can have some time to grade them properly before we start the next program at 6. We want to expand this more. We want it to work more for us. And who can make it work? You guys. On next week, Wednesday, we're going to have Daddy Professor Banji Akintoye next week, Wednesday, by the grace of God. And it will be fun. Big fun. So, guys, please, Mr. Maruto, Justin is not ready. Okay, who say so? She's ready. I've spoken to her. She's ready. She's very much ready. I will work for it. No, someone said it will be a walkover for Justin. She's too good. Okay. You know what? Tomorrow you will be able to speak Igbo language. It doesn't have to be Yoruba language, so you'll be able to speak Igbo language.
Yes.
I'm going to try and put some few movies that might interest you guys online. Maybe we should get a WhatsApp thing, which is being organized by Jimo Rasak at the moment. We should get it going first. Then I will be able to post some film like Ito Bashorun Ga. It's gonna be a 4 part. We're gonna post the Ito Yellow Deer Fuchitanura as well. We're gonna post those ones. Iton Akoni Eleko 1, 2, 3. We're gonna post those ones because we want to find every means to educate you guys. We need to know what we're doing. We need to know the history. You know when oh did Jocelyn not have 2 accounts? She has one called Tony Godson, is it? Because I don't know what happened. Jocelyn, what happened to your fingers? You can't type? Oh no, she's joking, yeah. She's gonna come and she's gonna do it. She can do it, yeah. I would like to say a very big thank you.
You can do it.
She can do it. Yeah, I know she can do it. She can do it. She can. You know what? She can even do it better than me. That's the beauty of it, because she speaks English and she speaks Igbo language. Well, I don't speak Igbo language, so there's no way. I might probably get someone to be with you on the show tomorrow, but we'll talk in the morning anyway, or immediately after the show. Daddy, I'd like to say a very big thank you to you, Mr. Afolabi as well. I want to say a very big thank you to you. Olayomi Koiki, the man that makes things to happen. I want to say a very mighty big thank you to you. I cannot say thank you to you guys enough. I've actually learned a lot. Even though I'm an old man, I know a lot of things, but I have been able to put so many feathers into my cap tonight for learning so much things from you guys. Before we go tonight, we have one. We have one that we need to treat.
If I may want to add
Go
something,
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
we once had an Aláàfin Májèótú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá mi tú.
Ami?
Amil.
Daddy,
Ashe.
thank you very much. Yeah. So,
Thank you, Daddy. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
That is it. Good night, everyone. Until tomorrow.
Yes.
Afternoon, tomorrow night when we meet again. I remain yours, loyal to you guys. Yoruba Land will be better. We want to build a nation that is not for few people, but a nation for everybody. A nation that will serve people, not that people will be serving. Right? A nation that will serve people. I don't care what these people think. Some people are saying the politician might not make it work. Why? Because they want to keep eating what they're eating. It's too late for that. It's too late. We want to have a nation whereby the politician will be earning the same money with the other people, not earning money well above what anybody else could actually earn in Nigeria. Guys, don't have nightmare. Sleep tight and good night. Thank you very much for joining us today. Good night.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm Susan Jumoke Fajano Thomas. It is important for us to stay at home. It is important for people to stay at home. By staying at home, you will help control the spread of the virus. You will help control the virus from spreading to your friends, colleagues, and the community. It is important we come together at this time to work together to support each other. Is by doing this and by staying at home that we can fight this virus. Also, it is important to practice social distancing, which means you need to stay 2 meters away from other people at all times. Please, let's do it together. Hashtag stay at home. Thank you.
Everybody in London, have you heard that Heritage Television has come up with something new? All your functions and celebrations can now be multi-camera live stream that was only reserved for the rich and famous. Having a function in London can be viewed clean and clear immediately from any part of the world. Trust Heritage TV to give you a better reach. Heritage Television also does photography that will make you the envy of all your friends and family. Heritage Television is the best. All your functions like birthdays, funerals, weddings, church anniversaries or harvest. Heritage Television is the master. We are in the heart of London with an ultra-modern equipped studio. You can call us on 020 800 46100 or email us info@heritagetv.co.uk or mobile 0734 1234 560. Heritage Television will do you proud.